So, I do not remember who Lil Tay is. That's the thing. Apparently some crazy stuff went down with Lil Tay. Something about a hoaxed death or something like that. So let's see what Charlie's got. Ooh. What'd that do? Okay, nothing. See what Charlie's got to say about it.
Sleuthing, cosplaying as L from Death Note, and just putting
Oh, that's what it did. Okay. Well, start at the beginning.
Jiminy Christmas sports fans, buckle your seatbelts, because I'm about to take you on a wild ride here. And I don't want your
I don't think this racing chair has a seatbelt.
noodle getting blasted against the side of your skull, because this is a lot of information you're going to need to be processing to keep up with the lore. So, yesterday, and I'm sure a lot of you have been keeping up with this as well, but I'm still going to lay out the bare bones of the situation. Yesterday, out of nowhere, there was a statement posted on Lil Tay's Instagram claiming that she has passed away, as well as her brother. Lil Tay is 14 years old, so obviously this was very shocking to hear for a lot of people. It's just an extremely sad situation.
Well,
Not
alright.
only did she pass away, but now they've just revealed that the brother has also passed
Oh
away.
my
Just
god.
horrible all around. This
Yeah,
was a
that's
huge
terrible.
story and just like a complete out of nowhere event that caught everyone by surprise. And it also seems a lot of people forgot who Lil Tay was because it's been 5 years since she's been active in the cyberspace, and in internet time, 5 years is ancient history. That shit's going back to like the primordial ooze. Nobody remembers things that happened 5 minutes ago, let alone 5 years. So I'll just go ahead and give you a brief refresher here. Lil Tay was a 9-year-old influencer who blew up in 2018 by posting content of her flexing money. She'd also do tours of mega mansions talking about how she buys
Oh.
them all the time. She'd be in expensive sports cards and say shit like, I don't have a license, but that doesn't mean that I still can't own the goddamn Batmobile. And then she'd do like a fan of money, like she was a magician asking you to pick a card, but the only card there was Benjamin Franklin's. The content was basically just here's a 9-year-old who's saying absurd things and has a seemingly absurd amount of money. Now, obviously, no 9-year-old is going to really act this way. This was all a persona. But it turns out it wasn't like her idea or anything.
I don't think a 9-year-old's going to be coming up with social media ideas that are actually going to work. So,
Actually a pretty sad situation. As more details arose
yep.
here, it turns out
Figures.
the people closest to her were the ones basically controlling her whole life. They gave her this role that she was forced to play.
That's usually how it goes with kids being famous and rich.
They'd tell her what to do and what to say, and they'd get all of the expensive cars and mansions set up so that way she could go film content in there and flex on everyone so that way they could capitalize off of her viral fame. It's a classic case that we've seen a million times in Hollywood with absolutely degenerate scum using their kids to live vicariously through and make money off of. It's just abhorrent shit, really. Now, obviously, when this news broke, everyone was surprised and upset. However, there was a small number of people who got suspicious because in the past, the Lil Tay Instagram account has actually posted something out of the blue before with some very disturbing allegations. It's since been deleted and buried, but it was enough to at least put it on people's radar as something that maybe requires a little more investigation just to ensure that there's no fishy business or it's not some kind of lie or some hacker pretending to be the family of Lil Tay and making this announcement. So there's a group of people that did some super sleuthing, cosplaying as L from Death Note and just putting together the puzzle pieces. And most notably, this included TMZ. So they
Uh
had been
oh.
contacting like
Not
police
TMZ.
departments as well as other organizations, just asking if they had any death certificates or records of her passing or her brother's passing, to which they all said no. And eventually, TMZ apparently got in contact with Lil Tay herself directly, who confirmed that it was all a ruse. Her and her brother are very much alive, and all of this hoopla was the result of a hacker getting access to her Instagram. She
Always
said,
the hacker. It's probably the same hacker that got everybody else. Like, I don't know who else. Somebody else who got hacked and probably pedos.
Want to make it clear that my brother and I are safe and alive, but I'm completely heartbroken and struggling to even find the right words to say. It's been a very traumatizing 24 hours. Now, this whole situation is so fucking weird then. Because there's actually an even deeper layer here. The question would obviously be, why would a hacker bother doing this? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And right now, the leading theory is that it ties into crypto. And let me explain. I actually learned about this from a publication speculating on why this might have even been posted in the first place. So it turns out there is a crypto coin called Lil Tay token, and it's existed for a little while now, though I don't think it's fully released or anything like that. But in the wake of
Could have made millions. Could have made
all of this
millions.
information here, with like the you fake out that Lil Tay and her brother are dead, people were wondering what the fuck would anyone even gain by making up that lie. So they turned their attention back to the Lil Tay token, and this account is actually pretty active on Twitter. They're denying that this was all a publicity stunt. This is actually spearheaded by someone who has worked closely with Lil Tay in the past. So the theory does hold a bit of water. They wanted to get Lil Tay's name out there in a big way to get a ton of publicity and hype around her. So they went with the Dino Spumoni approach here from Hey Arnold with the fake death thing.
Did it work? Because that's really the only thing that matters. Did it work? I didn't know who Lil Tay was. I don't agree with the method, but did it work?
And it got everyone talking about Lil Tay, which in turn would get people to talk about Lil Tay token when it drops. Maybe the idea
Yeah,
was
that
drum
didn't
up
work.
all of
I don't
this
think that's
interest
gonna
around
work.
Lil Tay's name.
Because now I know about a Lil Tay token, and I am 100% not buying that bullshit.
Then this crypto token comes out and people buy it in honor of her memory. And I think that is the stupidest idea ever. If that is actually the root of all of this evil here with this whole situation, that would be a dumber idea than the fucking shake weight. That is so stupid.
That's dumber than that. The Zootopia, whatever. Zoo file from Logan Paul. Crypto Zoo, that one.
That would make no sense. There is no logical thought process that would go into someone saying like, "Man, it really sucks that Lil Tay and her brother passed away so young. That's tragic." And then being like, "In order to show support to their memory, I'm going to buy an overpriced crypto shitcoin." That's what they would have wanted. Like that's just not going to happen. This would never move tokens. This would never sell crypto for them. So I don't really think that's what the whole purpose was, but it's also hard to deny that there is a chance with how degenerate the internet's become that a team might actually try this. So it's possible, but I think it's unlikely. I think one thing is very clear here though. Lil Tay is surrounded by bad people. They told her everything to say back in 2018, saying awful things, doing garbage shit for the sake of being a viral celebrity so that they could make money off of her. She is surrounded by fucking parasites. The people that she's supposed to be able to trust and rely on most in her life seem to be the ones that are controlling her whole life for their own personal gain financially. It's so sad. But I would like to expand a bit on what I alluded to earlier, where this isn't the first post that's popped up on her account from somebody else about some very disturbing stuff. A couple years ago, there was actually a post on her Instagram talking about how she needs to be saved from her abusive father, and it linked to a GoFundMe page which raised like $17,000, alleging that the father was abusing her and a lot of other really disturbing allegations as well. It was started by her brother.
Kind of abuse. Served by mother a court order demanding control over Tay's money, career, and custody, and as a result, it was court ordered that my sister had to return to Vancouver, Canada. He also requested the court order to prevent her from speaking about the truth. Since then, he has stolen millions of dollars from my sister and has taken control of all of her funds. He has signed $1 million deals and taken all of Tay's money for himself. He has spent millions buying himself and his wife, Hanny, 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 Hanny Hope, a new mansion, speedboat, nice cars, trips to spas, salons, fancy restaurants, trips to England, Egypt, Dubai, Mexico, Philippines, Hawaii, the UK, Paris, Designer clothing and jewelry, watches from head to toe. They have been living a lavish lifestyle for the past 3 years off of Tay's money. Well, why wouldn't they? It's right there. They can see it. What's she gonna do with it? She's just a kid.
And alleges that the father is evil and abusing her and doing everything he can to control all of her money. And it also has like a bunch of pictures as well as evidence. It says that the goal of the GoFundMe is to free her from the life of abuse that she currently lives, and that they're going to be doing everything they can to get her away from the father. And I believe that's through the like court system, but I haven't been able to find any information on that or any updates on the situation at all. There's only one update provided on the GoFundMe, and that was like a week after it launched, where this is what was said. I want to take this time to personally thank everyone that believes the truth and supported Tay even through the conspiracy theories. Please realize the Supreme Court case directly involving a minor is not public information. All documents are sealed and will not show up in the registry. The truth will eventually come out. Chris Hope owes $400K in child support and has stolen millions. Just now speaking about this because I no longer am a minor and now have the right to do so without harming my family legally. All people alleging that I am stealing money through a GoFundMe, please look at the facts, look at the police reports and the abuse. This is a serious situation. I feel like if you raise $17,000 for a situation as serious as this, you would want to keep people updated on what's happening here, and people would want to know. But somehow, this has just flown completely under the radar. I can't find any follow up to any of these claims or anything that's happened since this GoFundMe. The brother hasn't said anything on it, which is fucking weird.
I don't even trust GoFundMe. Like when people set up these campaigns when they need help, a lot of times the person who needs help isn't even the one who set up the campaign. So like it's hard to trust. And I've heard horror stories. I usually just don't buy into them. My charity is directly like person to person.
A lot of people apparently accuse this of being a scam, claiming that the brother was taking the money here from the GoFundMe for himself, just pocketing it. And I can see why people would think that because he hasn't fucking said anything about it. He hasn't given any updates on anything here. It's just been complete radio silence for the last couple of years where no one knows what's going on with this. And that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you keep people in the loop, especially because it's so serious and people are directly donating to try and do their best to help? The brother of Lil Tay has been a very controversial person since the beginning of Lil Tay's career, where there's a lot of accusations against him for a lot of different things. So the fact that all of this here, the hashtag Save Lil Tay movement, all of it that he was putting out there to try and get some steam behind, has just vanished without a trace from him or anyone else involved here. It's all really weird. So the post out of the blue claiming that both Lil Tay and her brother had died is not the first time that something has popped up on her Instagram out of the blue with some very alarming stuff. So the whole thing is baffling. It's such a weird mess. I don't know why a hacker would take over her Instagram account to make that post, and I also don't see why anyone on her team would make that post either. There's just nothing to be gained from anyone, no matter what angle you spin it. Like, even the crypto angle, assuming that that theory is even remotely true, there's nothing to gain there.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more it's just kind of a really weird situation because I thought maybe she posted it herself, but then I also thought she's so young, she's probably got a team that takes care of her social media whenever she wants to post something. They have to like make sure it's okay. So I don't think they would let her post that. So I don't know, man. That is weird.
Like, there's no one wins. Like, nothing makes sense about this situation. So, yeah, it's just been a weird, wild ride here with this whole story that I just wanted to.
It was probably not to be like racist or prejudiced or anything. It probably was somebody from China, and they just don't know how to. They may be evil, but they really don't know how to do it correctly. I've seen what it's like when it's the evil people in these places trying to do evil things. They're when they use modern technology, they just don't know. They think they know because they like follow tips and guides and other people who think they know what they're doing because they followed other tips and guides. I don't know, man. It's weird. Internet's weird. I'm done with the internet for a little while.